Good morning and welcome to Real Women, Real Issues. I'm Ardelle Bradley, and with me today I have Marquita, Sylvia, Esquire, and Frank Mortl III from the Michigan Lupus Foundation. Good morning.
Good morning, Ardelle.
Thank you for being with me.
Well, thank you for having us.
Now explain to my viewers your positions at the foundation.
Well, Ardelle, my name is Marquita, as you said, and I am the president of the board of directors for the Michigan Lupus Foundation.
Okay.
And I'm Frank Mortl III, executive director of the Michigan Lupus Foundation.
Wow, okay. Now, as you know, we hear a lot about cancer and we wear the pink ribbons. I notice both of you have orange ribbons. Does this have something to do with the foundation?
Absolutely. Orange and blue are actual colors representing the Michigan Lupus Foundation. We've been an organization around since 1974. We're actually celebrating our 40th year.
Good for you.
This year of helping lupus patients in Michigan and northern Indiana.
All right. Now tell me, Frank, what exactly is lupus?
Well, it's an autoimmune disorder that you're either born with or you're not. You cannot contract it. It's not necessarily hereditary, although we have seen a number of cases where parents and children have it, but just because you have it doesn't mean your children will acquire it. Okay. Just because you have it doesn't mean that you got it from your parents. It's a very challenging condition, and we're the only nonprofit 501c3 organization physically located in the state of Michigan to help folks that are suffering through this as well as their family members and friends. We term those folks lupus warriors because they are going through a battle every day as a result of their disease. Absolutely.
Marquita, tell me, what are some symptoms or signs that I can look for, or my viewers, or we can look for on other people that they may have lupus?
Right. Well, Ardelle, lupus isn't a simple disease to diagnose, and the symptoms actually mask symptoms that other diseases also sort of manifest. So someone who has lupus most notably might have what's called a butterfly rash, and that's a red rash that actually is in the shape of a butterfly or parts of a butterfly on their face. Okay. They often suffer from fevers, extreme fatigue, which many people are aware of. Many of them have anemia, or of some form of it, swollen glands or aching joints. Hair loss, particularly for women, is an issue. Those are at least some of the symptoms. If you see someone who's basically a woman between the ages of 18 and 40 presenting those kinds of symptoms, then that's a person who you want to recommend to go to a doctor to have them have an antibody test, a blood and urine test, to determine whether or not they have lupus.
So Frank, tell me, is it more found in women or men, or is it split?
90% of lupus patients are female. And it is a very damaging condition, unfortunately, and it's something that we as the foundation offer support, education, and research to find a cure for those that look to us for some type of coping mechanism.
So is this disease something that we can maintain and live a long, healthy life?
Oh, absolutely. Lupus is one of those diseases that if it isn't diagnosed early, women and men suffer fatally, actually, from lupus. And no one has to die from this disease if it's caught early enough by actually going and being diagnosed correctly, which often doesn't occur because many physicians actually don't recognize lupus when they see it, or they don't give patients that test, those blood and urine tests, to actually make a conclusive determination. But if you get diagnosed early and are compliant with the treatment program, you take care of yourself, you exercise, you can actually live a very successful life and very high quality of life with lupus. The problem is, and this is what disproportionately affects African American women, Hispanic women, and Asian women, is that we don't get diagnosed early enough and correctly. And so we often, just as men are, often have more incidences of suffering, making this a terminal or a deadly disease for us, and that doesn't have to happen.
We're going to be back in a moment to get some more of this, but first we're going to go to Jungle Juice to get the juice of the week.
Thank you, Ardelle. Hi, my name is Regina Hunter Coleman.
And I'm Sarita Hunter Doss.
This week, we'll be featuring pomegranate juice. Remember, this month is all about the pomegranate. But before we go into that, I want to remind you that Jungle Juice Bar is more than just a juice bar. We also have delicious soups, salads, and sandwiches, and guilt-free desserts.
This week's juice is pomegranate juice and grape lemon. Did you know that pomegranate and grape lemon combined together is great for inflammation? Not only is it good for inflammation, but it's also a great source of iron as well. Not only can you come in and get a great pomegranate and grape juice, but also come and get a sandwich to go with it. Our marinated vegetable sandwich and pomegranate grape juice goes great together. And don't forget, your health is your wealth.
Try the juice of the week and much more at the Jungle Juice Bar. The Jungle Juice Bar is located on Charlevoix in Grosse Pointe Park.
When you're having a heart attack, this is how it feels to your heart. And if it happens at night or on the weekend, there's only one hospital team standing by on site to save you. Cardio Team 1, only at the DMC.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
My friends, I want to introduce you to Samasco Financial. As attorneys, they worked hard to protect clients on a legal basis, only to watch many lose their money in the unpredictable and risky stock market. Samasco Financial has recognized the need for asset protection for our seniors and has introduced investment planning that will grow your nest egg without the risk of loss. To find out more about how Samasco Financial can protect your financial future, call 586-493-9989.
Groundbreaking, life-saving, history-making. The new DMC Heart Hospital, summer 2014. The beat goes on.
Real Women, Real Issues is brought to you by Mike's Fresh Market.
Welcome back to Real Women, Real Issues. I'm Ardelle Bradley, and with me today I have Marquita, Sylvia, and from the Michigan Lupus Foundation, and Frank Mortl III, also from the Michigan Lupus Foundation. We talked more the first segment about the disease, how you can detect it. Now I want to find out, how do you get funds? Do you have fundraisers? Do you do parties? What do you have throughout the state of Michigan to help raise money?
We have essentially an event going on every month, along with 24 support groups that offer our folks that are looking for support coping mechanisms to fundraise on our behalf. And so we have we're very proud of our website, milupus.org.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, about every month we have some fundraiser going. We had a terrific relationship that began last year with the Detroit Pistons. We were the 50-50 benefit charity for two of their events. We were invited back 3 times this year, as well as a fourth. Last month we were invited to their opening night festivities going on November 1st. So it's going to be an exciting season for us to partner with the Detroit Pistons and to have them fundraise on our behalf, as well as other events at the Oakland Mall. We'll be hosting an event, and this summer, actually in May, we're going to have a downtown Detroit walk to raise money and raise awareness for this very difficult disease, lupus. So we're extremely proud of our efforts in the fundraising department.
Wow, so everyone should come out on the first game, November 1st, you said,
That's
for the
right.
Pistons, see a good game, help the Lupus Foundation, and get information about lupus.
Absolutely, and that's a great point that you make, Ardelle, is that not only is it important to fundraise, but the awareness levels that need to be raised and for folks to be educated about this disease. That's why, again, our website, we're very proud of that. It's updated multiple times throughout the day, milupus.org. To show your support for this very difficult autoimmune disorder.
Now, if we want to do the walk, you say that's coming in May also? This is the
Yes.
first walk?
Well, we've got a number of walks. In fact, we have 5 scheduled for calendar year 2015. Grand Rapids, Jackson, Lapeer, 2 in the Detroit area. So we're very proud of those efforts to get involved and get folks to come together and show their support for how to defeat this difficult condition.
Now, how do they register? Do they go online to do that? Or?
They do. They can call our office, go online, register on site. We actually incorporate 5K fun runs into those events sometimes, and it's really exciting. But we're very, very proud as well of our support groups. Imagine 24 support groups that go on concurrently throughout the course of a month throughout Michigan and northern Indiana. But when you have such a large population of lupus warriors, 45,000 of whom live in the state of Michigan, another 20,000 that we support in northern Indiana. 65,000 folks plus their family and friends that can benefit from, again, the only 501c3 nonprofit charity focused on lupus and all things autoimmune disease in the state of Michigan.
Sounds like you guys have a lot going on.
We do. We're proud of our organization and what we do. Our goal and our objective really is to educate people and their families about lupus, to advocate. You know, we actually we go to Lansing and we lobby for healthcare initiatives. We go to Washington, D.C. to do the same. We also actually fundraise not only to provide support, but also to donate for research dollars, actually in the state of Michigan, at Wayne State University, at University of Michigan, because we want to find a cure for this disease. We're hoping that people like myself who have lupus are able to, with the support of our organization, going to support groups, getting information, that they can live like just tremendous lives. Lupus does not have to control you and claim your life. You can claim it and still go forward and live a healthy, successful life.
That was my next question, is what brought your love to lupus, but you put a blurb in there that you actually are a lupus survivor.
I actually am. And lupus, 60 or so % of the people who have lupus often have kidney disease. And I actually had kidney failure, actually, as a result of lupus. That's not the end of the story, though.
Of course not. Look at you.
The wonderful part of the story is that I was able to have a kidney transplant last year. And I live with lupus. I live with this kidney transplant. And I'm able to actually work productively. I hope so. I hope so. And that's what I want people out there to know. That
there's life after lupus.
There is. There absolutely is. So we're proud of
wonderful.
that. Yes.
Thank you again for being with me, and hopefully I'll see you on the walk and spread the word of the Lupus Foundation.
Well, thank you for having us.
Appreciate the opportunity.
And thank you, and we will be right back.
Stress, depression, and severe mental illness can happen to anyone. Team Mental Health Services has been helping those struggling with these conditions in southeastern Michigan. Within 24 hours of reaching out to our team, members receive psychiatric evaluations and begin the necessary treatment for recovery.
Team is by far, from my estimation, a premier mental health service organization. We are addressing the basic needs and the mental health concerns of our consumers. We're able to provide 24-hour psychiatric care when needed.
Team Mental Health Services prides itself on going the extra mile for its members.
And it was towards the 6th court date. I finally stood up and said, I can handle this process the rest of the way. And it was all because of the motivation and encouragement I got from Team Mental Health staff.
Team Mental Health Services, because we care and you can.
My friends, I want to introduce you to Samiran Financial. As attorneys, they worked hard to protect clients on a legal basis, only to watch many lose their money in the unpredictable and risky stock market. Samiran Financial has recognized the need for asset protection for our seniors and has introduced investment planning that will grow your nest egg without the risk of loss. To find out more about how Samiran Financial can protect your financial future, call 586-493-9989.
Ardelle Bradley's hairstyle provided by Megan Mitchell Hair Salon in Ferndale.
Good morning. Welcome to Real Women, Real Issues. I'm Ardelle Bradley, and with me this morning I have Samiran Hill. She is the president of Budget Wise Financial Solutions. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. As a woman, and all the women viewers who are out here, we do need help in saving sometimes. Saving for our future, taking care of our budgets, or even having a budget. I know a lot of women, that word is just taboo. Tell me exactly what your company does.
Well, what I would like to also do with that is, like you just mentioned, budget, and that is a taboo. So I'm going to take a little minute here to explain what Budget Wise is, and that'll kind of help you understand a little bit about my company.
Okay.
With Budget Wise, like you mentioned, that women are kind of think that's restrictive or constraint, and think it's a dreaded B word, as I like to call it. But basically what a budget is a tool to help you to manage your cash flow. So it actually keeps track of the money that's coming in versus the money that's going out, so your income versus your expenses. So also with a budget, though, it's the most appreciated tool for financial planning. It is the game plan. It is the foundation. So with a budget, not only does it help you to manage your money and your cash flow, but it also helps you to allocate resources to reduce debt, to increase your savings, and to build wealth, as well as to give more. So my company kind of helps in that area where we help women with all things that pertain to money by starting with that key element, the budget.
That dreaded B word.
Yes.
Now, once you have your budget set, do you help them formulate the budget, or do you let someone do their own budget?
We help people with the process of budgeting, but the budgeting is not only what I do, but with the process of budgeting, that's the starting point. So the key thing there, when I think of budget-wise, one is understanding your finances and being conscious about your finances. So that's kind of also what the budgeting does. It helps you make you a great financial decision maker.
Okay.
And on the other side, wise is wisdom. It's the principal thing. So with that, it is the highest order to be, do, and to think. So with wise and budget wise together, I think of it as managing money with conscious and with wisdom. So we start with the budget, but we're looking at reducing debt, increasing your savings, as well as putting a game plan for saving for retirement and investing.
Now, when you say retirement, a lot of people have gone through a divorce or loss of job, have gone through whatever savings they may have had, and they're, say, 40 or 45 years old. Is that too late to start saving for retirement?
It is never too late to start saving for retirement. You can always put a plan in place. The key things there is to get started. So, yes, the ideal situation is in your teens when you get your first job, but definitely your 20s when you get your professional job after college. But at any time, begin saving and whatever amount. I've seen people start in their 60s. So whatever amount you put aside is still money saved.
Right. It's better than nothing at all.
Better than nothing at all.
Now, once they have their budget together, do you also help as far as investing and making their money grow?
Well, again, as a fully licensed financial services professional, I'm able to sit down with people to start that process. So the budgeting, it's just a tool, but it's the overall process of financial planning. So I kind of consider myself a personal finance strategist to help people put the entire game plan in place. So we start with the budget, yes, and then we'll look at the reducing debt, increasing savings, and yes, I am a registered investment advisor as well.
All right. And then once I'm sure they see the money grow, the budget word is not so bad.
No, the budget word is not.
We'll be right back after this, but now we're going to go to Dr. Shauna Ryder-Diggs for the Dermatology Tip of the Week.
We are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can bring us down.
Hello, this is Dr. Shauna Diggs with your Dermatology Skincare Tip of the Week. Today we're going to talk about neuromodulators. So what are neuromodulators? They are otherwise known as Botox and Dysport. So these are medications that are commonly used to relax your face so that your face has fewer lines and creases. It can change your expression, helping you look more relaxed, more comfortable, more positive. So we're actually going to treat someone today with the neuromodulator so that you get a chance to see what it looks like. So when performing the procedure with Botox or Dysport, first you clean the skin with some alcohol. And then you're looking at how a person's muscles are actually shaped. So a frown. Frown for me? Frown. Wow, you see you're not a frowner.
Oh, this.
Yeah, like that. So these are the muscles we're talking about. This one here, here, and here. I always think of it like a drawstring. It's relaxed, but then as you crunch those muscles, it all pulls up like a drawstring, and you get what are called the 11s, the line here and the line here, and then you get these lines across the middle. So one reason to keep these up is because when it's relaxed all the time, you never get what I call the permalines, or those lines that are always there. So to do this, we're going to get into those three muscles. So frown, okay, relax. So I literally just put some right here. That's one. We're going to do this one right here. And then put some into those right there. And then one more. Brown again. See, when I have people brown, because then I can see it really, really well. Okay, relax. And that's it. So the main risk for this procedure, or as you can see, they're injections. So you can always have a little bit of bleeding or a bruise. So you try not to take aspirin, Aleve, naproxen, any blood thinners before the treatment. Also, You want to have some expression. So I always say one of the risks is being too flat, because I don't really like that look. I think people should have a little bit of expression, particularly if you're in a job where you're with the public or you need to be expressive, like a newscaster or something like that. You need to have some level of expression. There's always a risk of putting in too much, so that you actually get a little bit of a lid drop or an eyebrow drop. And some people have sort of that extra skin that's right above your eye. And if you have that, a lot of times you'll tend to sort of hold up a little bit to keep your eyes open. And if that's the case, we can put some of these medications into your forehead, but you don't want to put too much, because you want to be able to hold your eye open a little bit. The true treatment for trying to keep your eyes more open is really to have surgery and have that little bit of extra skin removed by a plastic surgeon. This is Dr. Shauna Diggs, and this has been your skincare tip of the week.
To learn more about Cosmetic Derm and their revolutionary skincare products and services, please visit drshaunadiggs.com.
Opportunity. It doesn't stare you in the face. It's not going to yell at you to come and get it. It doesn't knock. So what does opportunity look like? Not what you might think. You see, opportunity is not a right. It's definitely not equal. And it doesn't come with an instruction manual. That's because opportunity isn't found. It's molded, it's built, it's created. It's as much about grit as it is intellect. An explosive high-tech corridor located at the intersection of muscle and brains? You bet. Because opportunity only comes to those already in the game. What does opportunity look like? It looks like Detroit. Opportunity made in Detroit.
Ardelle Bradley's fashion provided by the Turquoise Boutique in Detroit.
Mike's Fresh Market, Detroit's largest independent supermarket with the best prices, quality, and service. Enjoy our vast selection of fresh fruits and vegetables. Wide aisles lead you to our own in-house bakery and deli. Beef, pork, chicken, seafood, and much more. You can rest assured you will feed your family the freshest food in town. Whatever you need, you can find it here at Mike's Fresh Market. Mike's Fresh Market with 2 locations, Gratiot and 7 Mile and Livernois and 7 Mile. Better food, better prices. That's Mike's promise.
The Detroit Seafood Market is a proud sponsor of Real Women, Real Issues.
Welcome back to Real Women, Real Issues. I'm Ardelle Bradley, and with me this morning I have Samiran Hill, who is the president of Budget Wise Financial Solutions. Welcome again. I know I have a question. I wanted to find out from you, what are the biggest mistakes that women make as far as doing a budget or saving or just with their finances in general?
You know, that is a good question. And working with women, and particularly with some of my clients, what I find is really just having a game plan. That starts it all. And then from there, I would think some of the things that are repetitive is managing their credit and reducing that, just saving something, for the future, and planning for retirement. Those be the 3 key concerns that I see from women. When I think back to over 20 years ago when I began, having an interest with helping women with their finances in our community in general, no one was having this conversation. No one was interested in learning anything about it. Right. But we fast forward to today, and at that time, what I think really is that, you still believed in the fairy tale. You still believed that you were going to get married and happily ever after.
Prince come and pick you up and take you off and never worry about it.
That is correct.
And it's not true.
That is not true. And so I think reality has now set, and fast forward 20 years, what we find is 62% of the women are single.
Absolutely.
Whether they never married, divorced, or widowed, or just partnered. Women live longer than men. The average age for widows is age 55. Women are highly likely to be single parent. So now the reality is there. So I'm seeing women in general are more aware and more interested in learning how to manage their money. So those same mistakes from their 20s have carried forward over to now.
But we're more aware of them, and we know, I think we tackle it differently than, like you said, in the past. We might have a little piggy bank before. Now it's like, no, I really need to have something serious and solid here.
Absolutely.
Can you tell a difference if a woman has a husband or a partner in their saving strategies and having a budget? Do you think it's better or worse?
Well, you mentioned having a budget. I'm not sure from having a budget I can tell a difference, but definitely when it comes to saving for retirement.
Okay.
I worked in the capacity as a retirement planning counselor, so I met with women from ages mid-20s up. And I still found, even today in 2014, that women would think, oh, my husband will take care of that. So they are not interested in starting, or we're just going to transfer that responsibility over to him. But today, like you mentioned, that we no longer can do that. We need to get engaged with our finances. We need to become educated and absolutely be empowered.
And another thing, I have teenage girls. I have twin girls that are 15, and I sit down with them. Just this weekend, I did some changes, and I let them know this is what's coming in. This is what we have going out. So when they come to me and ask me for some $200, whatever, hairdo or whatever they want. And I say, no, we can't do that this week. I think now they have a better understanding. In fact, my daughter and I had gone to Target and she had to get some items. And she said, so Mommy, does this come out of the miscellaneous one? I said, yeah, this comes out of my miscellaneous file.
Yes.
So I think that is something important that we need to teach our young girls at an early age about budgeting and saving and finances. So as they grow older, it becomes natural. And it's nothing that we have to have a sticker shock with at 30 years old or 40 years old when you look up and you don't have anything saved or you don't have a budget.
That is absolutely correct. You are your daughter's or your children's first teacher.
Absolutely.
And they learn from home, as well as if you educate a girl, you educate a man, so they say, you teach an individual, but you educate a girl, you're going to teach a nation.
Absolutely.
We should pass it on.
I agree. So in closing, what's the best advice you can give us out there for women in saving and having a good budget?
I am obviously a proponent of a game plan. It all starts there. You can, in the past, you can have different products, or, you want to run and go get that investment, or you want to go do something sexy with your money. But it really just starts with just being solid, having a goal in your finances and putting together a game plan. So I would start there, obviously reduce the debt and know your numbers. Take the time out like you're doing with your daughters, run the numbers, list down everyone you owe, list down everything that you own, and then, know the difference, which is your net worth, your assets minus your liabilities. Correct. And that's your financial temperature, so to speak, and begin to get familiar with your dollars. It just all starts there. It's there in your mindset.
That's something you should look into, maybe having a clinic for young adults and learning how to budget.
That sounds like a good idea.
Thank you again for being with us. I look forward to having you on in the future.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ardelle.
And thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next week right here with more Real Women, Real Issues.